Okay, we have our specifications all laid out here on the hood. Clearly something is not right. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the most famous YouTuber in the world that no one has ever heard of. Because it is a little bit squirrely on the road. I don't like it. It's all over the place. It's not a joy to drive anymore, and I don't know what changed. So we're going to go through the car and find out. In today's video, we're going to check the alignment on this car because something is wrong with it. It's not behaving right. If I have the presence of mind, I'll put a clip of it going down the road. I'm dodging potholes. The roads here are absolutely horrific. But this car is not behaving the way it did 10 years ago. Something's changed, something's loose, and we're going to find it. Now, the first place to start, in my mind anyway, is the alignment. Rather than looking for all my fancy equipment, I'm just going to use a speed square and a straight edge. I know it's straight because I cut it. Very hard to see. I think that says 5/8. We're gonna look, and we've got it up against the bolt here. So we're gonna take away the distance of the bolt, so that's 3/4 of an inch. We're at 1.5, so 3/4. That puts us at 3/4 inch caster on this wheel. We're at 1.25 inch, and then we're going to subtract 3/8, half. 1.25 inch minus half. That's 3/4 of an inch, right? Okay, so our caster is there. Okay, so let's check our camber next. Okay, so the top of the wheels to the bottom of the wheels should be a difference of roughly 3 inches. I'm going to measure the top of the wheel as high as I can without, because the fenders are in the way. See if we can see what this says. That says 54 to this tread right here. Do the same thing at the bottom, as low as we can go. That tread right there is 52 and a half. So it's, yeah, 54. So we've got an inch and a half. It's probably, by the time you get to the top, is going to be 2 inches, which is not the best camber, but there is positive camber there. Now, if I wanted to change that, I would have to heat up this section of axle on both sides, cherry red from here to here, this whole section right from here to here, and then try to bend that down to get the wheel to go out more. Now, this has not changed. It's cast iron, forged iron, whatever. It didn't bend. Now, I can see the camber there with my eyes. This one here is a little bit less, so that's not the best. I might look for a different axle. This one looks like it's more straight up and down than that one. Has more camber than this one. I bet you this is the other inch that we're missing. All right, so we're gonna be changing an axle, I think. But that's not what's causing it to misbehave, because this was not, nobody bent that. This has been like that for years and years and years and years and years. So I'm going to look for another axle. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it. Later on. Not a big deal. Now the next thing that we want to measure, I know you're staring at my license plate. The next thing we want to measure is toe in. So according to the paper, this one I can read. The difference between the front and the back, the toe in should be 3/16 to 1/4 of an inch. So to measure that, we need to in the tread at the bottom, and then when we roll the car, I climb under and I go to the same tread on the back side. So typically it would be in some like that. Some would be holding it for me, and I would measure to the other tread. So let's get our front measurement. 54 inches from there to there. And if we go to the back one, I'll just look in there. Maybe get the creeper. I'm gonna climb under. I'm not gonna take you with me this time. But I'm gonna try and do this with one person. That's stuck in the tread. Okay, we've got a 1/2 inch. It's 54 and a half on the back side. That new tape measure stayed in there nice. Okay, so we've got 54 on one side and 54 and a half on the other side. So we have a little bit too much toe in. Okay, now the way to adjust that is this joint right here. There is a nut and a bolt, and you take out this pin here, and you can turn that and crank the wheel in and out. You can make this piece longer or shorter. But a 1/2 inch, I don't think that's going to cause the problem. I think it's a fairly big dramatic difference. So what we need to do is we need to dig a little deeper. And it is hot in here. I've got the air conditioning running, but it is not keeping up. So we're out 1/4 of an inch on the toe in. Our camber is messed up. The caster's okay. 5/8 of an inch. It's roughly. Alright. So that gives us a base point to go off of. I still think there's something loose. I'm not convinced it's the front end. It could be something loose in the back end to make it flighty, but I don't like the way it handles. It's not fun to drive. I got out of this, I went a half mile down the road and turned around and came back. And I got out of this and I got in my Jeep, and it was like getting off a skateboard and getting into a Rolls Royce in terms of steering and staying where it needs to be. And we all know Jeeps are terrible. So this is extra terrible.